All right, turning now to the moment over the weekend that shocked the nation, an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump during a rally on Saturday night.
This has been a stunning weekend in American politics, to say the least. And this morning, the former president will move on as scheduled. Videos show the moment that Donald Trump ducked down behind the podium. Secret Service agents jumping into action there, creating a human shield around him. There are so many questions about that shooting that also killed one Trump supporter and wounded two others. The gunman, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, was killed by the Secret Service. Investigators in Pennsylvania have been combing through his home. Former FBI agent Ross Rice spoke with Dane Placco on Sunday night about what else will happen with the investigation.
I'm sure there is some digital fingerprint that's out there that agents and investigators are going to be trying to uncover, but they may have to do this the old-fashioned way by talking to people that knew him. And they're hopefully going to come up with a motivation. A lot of times when people do things like this, they leave behind a note, or as we've seen in other cases, a manifesto of some sort.
Every little detail will help. In an interview aboard his private plane en route to Milwaukee, former President Trump called it a very surreal experience, saying he's supposed to be dead. The doctor who treated him at the hospital described Trump only getting nicked in the ear as a miracle. We're going to be speaking with Ross Rice again this morning, coming up in our next hour.
As the investigation continues into that assassination attempt, President Biden addressed the nation from the Oval Office, condemning political violence and calling for unity as well. Biden also referenced other recent violent attacks on politicians and says, quote, "We can't go down this road in America." He said he is thankful that the former president is not seriously injured and expressed condolences to the victims' families.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence, for any violence ever. Period. No exceptions. We can't allow this violence to be normalized.
In the wake of the assassination attempt, President Biden postponed a scheduled trip to Texas. The president was set to travel to Austin today to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act at the LBJ Presidential Library. Vice President Kamala Harris also postponing her scheduled visit to South Florida.
The U.S. Secret Service facing intense scrutiny this morning over the assassination attempt on former President Trump. Republican congressional leaders are vowing to investigate what went wrong. They're also calling on Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to testify on Capitol Hill. Now, Cheadle spent 27 years with the Secret Service before President Biden tapped her to lead the agency in 2022. The gunman fired at the former president from on top of a commercial building just about 400 feet away from the stage. President Biden has ordered an independent investigation into the shooting.
We are also learning more about the man who was killed at that rally. He was 50 years old and a volunteer fire chief named Corey Comparatori. He is being called a hero for throwing himself over his wife and his two daughters as soon as the gunfire started. Two other rallygoers were also injured in the shooting. Flags have been ordered to be flown at half-staff in Corey's memory as two more victims fight for their lives this morning. A GoFundMe authorized by the Trump campaign has already beat its goal. Officials hope to raise $1 million for the victims and their families. Guess what? This morning, that campaign is nearing $4 million.
Meanwhile,